For a long time now, many of the teams within the LCS have found themselves in a similar spot year after year. Although there are exceptions of teams that perform exceptionally well in some years, and other cases of teams performing poorly in others, we generally come to similar conclusions year after year. There's a solid pack of teams known for being at the top, like 100T or Team Liquid, while other teams like Immortals or Dignitas have not impressed fans in years. I wanted to use this video as an opportunity to sort of explain why this performance can hurt not only the teams themselves, but potentially the league as a whole, the implications of introducing concepts like LCS relegation again, and fully break down the reasons for why these teams should actually care. By the way, if you enjoyed this video, remember to get subscribed for more content like this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I probably err a little bit more on the side of contributing, leading. In most of those meetings, I probably am doing the most talking across all the teams in the LCS, but I view it that if we have too many free riders in the system, then it's just going to hurt the product itself, which lowers the tides for everybody that is participating in the league. So I want the lower teams to be successful. We need for them to have fan bases. We need for them to see clear line of sight to their investment. If that doesn't happen, they drag us down.
In any competitive league, it is very natural for some teams to gravitate towards certain parts of the standings. This comes as a result of the circumstances that they put themselves in, the resources that they're able to access and utilize, and of course, the natural outcomes of the performances of their teams. There just has to be a winner and a loser, right? Why wouldn't there be? Although this is true and there's a level of acceptability for this, there comes a point where this gets pretty old and both teams and the fans of them get pretty sick of this narrative. Seeing the same team lose time after time after time, people get bored of this. This then results in a whole slew of issues that come up as a result. Low performance in the league means lowered expectations for that team in the league, and because of these lowered expectations, this results in lower funding, which ties back into further poor performances. There's no incentive for teams to perform under the new franchising model either, which creates a negative feedback loop for teams and basically associates their brand to this low level of performance. And because this brand just embraces this low performance, they are essentially allowed to free ride their way through the LCS, have the team just be treated like an investment into the industry itself, and then be able to hypothetically ride the momentum as esports in general continues to grow. This ties back to the main question of this video, introducing the concept of removing some of these poor teams in the league. For context, until 2018, the LCS actually had a relegation model as part of your league, and the bottom performing teams did actually have a chance to get relegated from the league and lose their spot to potential up-and-coming amateur teams. This would be the chance for the league to really crack the whip on these free riding teams and force them to take action. Going back to this format of the league would also restore some of its benefits, naturally incentivizing teams to actually build the best roster they can and promote competition within the league. Having a naturally more competitive league is actually in the interest of both the bottom teams and the top teams in the league, because this strengthens the region as a whole, which promotes interest in the region as a whole, and then produces these benefits for all teams. Although this can create a stressful environment for these teams that are at the bottom, on paper the benefits would outweigh everything else here. What makes this problem more complicated than that, however, has nothing to do with competitiveness. When the LCS converted to franchising in 2018, the move was essentially done as a business decision that would supposedly pave the way to future success in the league. While the fact that relegation would potentially help nip in the bud in the teams shitting the bed, the truth of the matter is that this is not a sustainable model for the business of the league. One of the worst outcomes possible would be if some of the most loved brands in the league suddenly dropped because they fell prey to the system, and sponsors for potentially both teams in the league and the league itself were to pull out. In a sense, this franchising system is a failsafe for situations like this, and in that way is a necessary precaution for the league. There's good reason for why other sports leagues have introduced this model for their own competitive games, and in this lens, it is a good choice by Riot to introduce this model as well. This doesn't make Dignitas any better though. Much still needs to be done if we're going to fix the problems with low levels of performance and inconsistency we have in the league. But there's multiple approaches that leagues like the LCS and the teams in it can take in order to help them improve. Riot can very likely help these teams get back on their feet, strategize, and provide insights wherever they can to help mitigate this as well. A lot of the professional teams in League and other esports right now are still very much in their infancy and still have a lot of things revolving around their operations that they can improve greatly. So it will take a long period of consistent improvement and policy development within the league to help push these teams to help develop their strategies. But to answer the question, it probably isn't the best idea to delete some of these teams in the league, however tempting it may be. But we should instead direct our resources to continue help these struggling teams as much as possible. This problem definitely ties into the issues that NA has as a whole as well, but another way to think about it is that this is an excellent opportunity for NA to overcome its biggest hurdle as a region and push itself back up as a competitive major region in LoL esports. As always, I hope this video was insightful to you guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Stay fried.